kind of let you know that there's a lot of planets in Taurus and Aries right now, and then some prominent placements in Cancer. So what Taurus represents is Mother Earth, material, the material plane, like material possessions, property, beauty, what people consider to be beautiful. And with Pluto and Aquarius, you know, that doesn't necessarily mean like what the rules have always said in our entire lifetime is beautiful. We can find things that are beautiful that are outside the box and unexpected. So if the rules always said that symmetry was what's beautiful, then we might find like the opposite of that beautiful now. But it's beauty, it's material property, possessions, food, it's the material things, and it's sacred, and it's someplace between surviving and thriving. The shadow side to Taurus is Scorpio. So the earth, when we're moving through Taurus season, which we have been, that means the earth is going through an ego development period of scorpionic type stuff. Scorpio is the shadow of Taurus. So Scorpio is, while Taurus would be abundance, Scorpio would be the fear of lack. While Taurus would be like the epitome of life and how life sustains, Scorpio would be like the fearing of like life not sustaining. While Taurus would be very fixed and saying like, this is just the way it is, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, Scorpio would say there could be unlimited possibilities. But they would be haunted by their own shadow, which would be that fixed nature of Taurus at the same time. But they would be open to the unlimited possibilities. Scorpio can rule lies and deception. So, you know, those of us on Earth are going through that right now. There's, at this point in time, with the way the astrology is lining up, there's like things that are going to come to awareness that people are going to be kind of surprised about. And I'll be right back. Gotta get stuff to make a dress. So yeah, there we are with that. Okay, so where was I? I was saying that, hey, no bark. It's my turn to talk. No bark. Falcor, come. Do you need something? Okay, excuse me a moment. Okay, so I was saying, Falcor, come. I was saying, before I was so barkingly interrupted, so a lot is in Taurus, Aries, and Cancer right now. So that's what Taurus is about. And Aries is about, Taurus can also be a lot about the body. You know, like the sacredness in the body. Cernunnos is sometimes depicted as, the Cernunnos or the green man is sometimes depicted as like Taurus. Or you can also think of like the cow in the desert in the olden days. Like if you had a cow, you're probably going to be okay. You're going to last a while because like, yeah, you might have milk. You could have something to like help you carry things. And then like worst case scenario, you've got meat. Like if you know how to like sustain that meat. So Taurus, okay? So that's the energy of right now. So it's not really a time of like trying to plant. It's a time of like just being in quiet and calm and being with what is. And then we have Aries. And Aries is, so Taurus is depicted by like the cow. Aries is the ram. Aries is fire. It's also very much about the body. It's like the being that has just come to Earth and is getting familiar with having a body. Be right back. I gotta get oil. trying to like do food prep and this at the same time. Okay, so that's Aries. So also a lot about the body. Aries is about like being in the body. It's about using the body for action, taking action. This fixed star that I was mentioning, the emblem for that, like, you know, Taurus has like the cow and Aries has like the ram. The emblem for this fixed star is Medusa's head having been cut off. So it's a time to remember like embodiment, staying in our bodies, the power of beauty, the power of seeing. So in that image, it's a man that has chopped off the head of a woman figure who has a lot of eyes, and a woman that would get men hard, aka the rated G version being like turn them to stone. So it's that the masculine, which is the drive and how we take action, and the fear in regards to how we receive the inspiration, how we receive inspiration in life. When we look at creation, when we look at all that is, we are inspired to create as well. And there's nothing wrong with that unless we say that there is. And if we say that there's something wrong with that, it brings us fear. It brings us fear if we think that we're not supposed to be empowered and embodied to be creators. It brings us fear, and that's a big reason why there is such a split between like the masculine and the feminine, when there's a time in history when there wasn't. It was recognized that, you know, in Kundalini, the snakes up the rod, which is like the symbol for health, it was recognized that we all have action and receptivity within us. And when we separate it and say, no, that's not mine, that's other, and then we try to cut off from that, that's fear-based. So with Raghul, this fixed star, the reason why, you know, it would be advisable to do less of the manifesting that you would normally do, or the materializing, or the seed planting that you might normally do during May, not just because in the northern hemisphere is it almost summer already and it's time to reap what you've sown, but it's also because there could be fear mixed up in there, because the mythos and the master narrative for so long that has been part of our past programming, especially when Pluto was in Capricorn up until this past year. So in our entire life, we've had this unconscious programming around the fear around those two things being as one. So we have that, and then we have Uranus and Gemini, which is, Gemini is also dual. It's about duality. And you can talk to a lot of Geminis and they will tell you that they recognize like that they have both or neither within themselves. Like they don't feel this strong divide between one or the other in most things. They're able to see things from a couple perspectives. And that is a sign of actual like strength and resilience, is the ability to be able to hold that two things can be true at the same time that don't seem like they could be. And there can be a way that they can like be true, and there is truth in it. So that's like our Aries. So Aries rules the head, but then at the same time we have this fixed star, which is the head being chopped off. So, and a big thing about Aries is like, don't bump your head. Aries is ruled by like this part of the body. So not bumping your head, like, and just slowing down and being quiet and calm as much as possible and trying not to take as much action. It's highly advisable to like listen more than speaking, especially for us air signs like the Geminis and the Libras and the, what's the other air sign? Aquarius. It's a good time right now, like May 16th of 2026, to be trying to listen more than speaking. And we might see that played out in 6 months from today. So whatever 6 months for May, June, July, August, September, October, November. In November 16th, we might see like, oh, it's a good thing I was quiet back in May, because here we are in November. And I see this, just being careful with words and stuff. So we've covered a lot of plants are in Aries, which has to do with like taking action and like trying to stay embodied and not losing our head. Rams tend to like ram their way through things, and you know, bulls can be bulls in a china shop sometimes, like cows can be like that, right? So like those are the two types of energies that we have. And then we have Cancer. So Cancer's in the midheaven, Cancer's in Jupiter. And Cancer is telling us, Cancer has to do with the home. It's a crab, but you know, like a crab has a home inside a shell, and who and what is allowed in that shell is what's closest to them. It's about security. It's about safety for creativity, for creation. It's about Falcor. I just realized something, but anyway, I'm going to still focus on this. Okay. I know what you did, Falcor. Anyway, back to this. So Cancerian time is about psychic stuff. So if you're a Cancer or a water sign, you can be affected by, you know, and earth signs too, because earth holds water. So Capricorns, Taurus, and what's the other, Virgos. This is a really good time to be like just keeping up with the organization stuff in the house. Not a full overhaul like spring cleaning yet, but like keeping up with those little things, you know, doing your food prep, doing your just your little things around making sure that things are secure and safe for you and your loved ones. That's the best thing that you could be doing right now, according to the astrology in this moment. And you'll see the payoff in that within the next 2 weeks. And you'll also see it around November 16th. And it's going to prepare you for when we come into this Gemini Uranus, and during the Gemini season. There's going to be a lot of unexpected things, a lot of unexpected fortune, and a lot of unexpected of the other way, depending on how we think about things and what we think about the most and what we don't think about, and yada yada. So earth signs for you, like I would tell you, like make sure you got like your awareness around, I'm not usually a person that says count your blessings, but I'm gonna just be like, notice everything you've got, take inventory. It's not a time to be planting seeds right now. It's a time to be just taking inventory of what you've got and being like, yeah, awesome, that's what I got. So that's Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. And Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, slow down. Keep your head about you, keep your wits about you. Don't go flying off the handle during these unexpected moments that are about to come up. Take moments now to practice like what it feels like to be in stillness as much as possible, because you're going to need that practice after like May 20th of 2026. And then Cancers, you know, like, yeah, follow that comfy urge to take care of the home right now. Take care of your loved ones, prioritizing yourself first. A lot of the degrees that a lot of these planets, so it's mostly Aries and Taurus, they're in the 20 degrees, which has to do with society, but they still net down to singular digits. And those singular digits are mostly 4s, which has to do with structure, and it has to do with the difficulty of structure fitting in versus not. And that's also Aquarius and Pluto, which is a big theme of this whole year. And then we have 7s, which has to do with faith. And then we have things netting to 8s, which also has to do with challenges, repeated challenges, like, oh, been here, done this before. Like, but each time it's a little bit different. So stay with that. But most of the places where the challenge type energy is landing, it has to do with the mind. So that's a good thing to remember. And the secret through it is taking pauses and really remembering, like, we can choose what we think about. So if there ever was a time to not think about the thing that's the most scary, or to not think about the thing that's the most challenging, and to try to like twist it into something different, this is the time for that. Pisces is in the North Node. It's not a time to be a stickler. Virgo's in the South Node. So, and as far as, yeah, so that's my general gist of the astrology right now. And air signs, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It's just the best thing you can do right now is be quiet. And I would say like more right now around May 16th, and then less and less until we get into like Gemini season. Then it's not going to matter as much, because whatever is meant to be will be at that point in time. But right now, like, it's a good time to like hold back on like saying certain things to certain people or whatever. All will be revealed. So those of us that have had secrets or whatever, it's all going to come to light no matter what. So try not to worry about that, or do worry about that, but not too much. But yeah, we're going into that Gemini season in about 2 weeks from now. So that'll be when the moon is full again. So cheers. No planting for nobody right now. Just take inventory and stock of what you got, and take good care of yourselves. Enjoy.